連線中清稍後。有畫面未？用我面繼續。咪聲冇問題。豬聲冇問題。哇！重播喎有。要重播幾多次啊？3年前喎又講返。係。哇！好窒，我部機都窒啊！水抽喎，我講翻嗰陣時佢兩個啲複雜嘅關係。
We're in hillbilly territory. What were you expecting? Cantaloupe caviar.
當自己鄉下好冇
Not exactly honeymoon material, is
要
it?
往前看啊！
I recall somebody saying that you
有
wanted
話
to
所以
go
學
ice
攀
climbing.
冰嘅，
Ice
冰
climbing is relaxing.
好舒壓，攀冰好舒壓。
What is it?
少少牛，坐直啲先。
The guy who served me, I
服
don't
務
know.
生我唔
was
知啊，總之佢望住我個眼神好奇
He
怪。
probably doesn't get to see a woman like you around these parts very often, especially when you shower.
佢應該覺得好奇怪，點解有個初齡嘅女人喺度出現？
Such as?
It's nothing. We should go.
冇嘢啦，開車啦，冇
No, come on, tell me.
做乜掉嘢？邊個發脾氣？
He said I'll never again be as happy as I am now.
咩啊？呢個啊喂，
What the hell's that mean?
呢度快啲，
You don't believe him, do you?
專用㗎。
Of course not.
You know, my sole objective, Rach,
我嘅目標就係令你幸福快樂啦。
doesn't matter where we are or what we're going
我祝
through.
你幸福
I'll
快
always
樂
put a smile
啊！
on your face. See? I told you. Next time, all you have to do is whistle, and I'll come running to
下次
defend
只
you.
需要吹個口哨，我哋會翻
Like
返
my
究竟你
very
識保
own
護
loyal
你，
puppy dog.
Semper Fi
永遠忠誠。
means always loyal.
I'm more than capable of looking
結
after
果就
myself.
剪斷嗰啲，整斷
Now
條
get your
繩，
feet off my
永
dash, you
遠忠
hillbilly.
誠。炒錢，唔係唔整斷條繩就一齊死，整斷條繩就死少一個咯。只可以講就係大雁南頭都各自飛。我而家轉頭開大聲啲先，你講咩？
都係大家都可以。
咪應該咁講，立場調轉，可能條女都會 cut 佢嘅。
佢話我都冇問題，大家都冇事。跟住可能大家一齊。
但係佢見到佢都係一嘢打，
咁一定嬲豬啦，點會唔嬲豬？
唔係唔嬲啊嘛？
係咯，
佢話唔嬲你都驚啊！
冇錯。
條女冇死最後，應該係俾人植咗嘢入去，使唔使啊？佢女人就植嘢入去喎，男人就唔植咯，係咪有啲咩含義？
咩啊？異形都係咁㗎，孖打啊嘛。
要 feel 到應該個體裏邊有啲嘢。唔係應該咁講，女人先可以繁殖啊，佢男人唔可以啊，男人係會爆出嚟
Nick, I thought I
嘅。
lost you.
I thought I'd lost you.
Right.
Eric.
哇！大佬嚟啊！
Colonel, you gotta go!
我先教。
You too, Nick. You're coming with us.
Come on, Ray.
呢翻嚟唔係
哇！我隻 game 都好窒，我想講，梗冇啦。哇！我隻 game 都好窒。
Shit.
唔係你睇有冇窒啊？ 開大聲啲個隻 game 先，太細聲啦。
都係聽唔到。
另外我就刪咗嗰啲網頁先，我哋啲網頁扯 RAM 啊。好，我哋繼續，睇下會唔會好啲啊？嗰邊都冇，行啦，唔好睇住。好快喎，好長嘅速度。冇咁長嘅速度啊！佢知呢兩個係廢㗎嘛。我賣佢咯，結果救佢而死。佢單手剔起咗佢咯，佢單手剔起咗佢咯。
Jesus, hold me up.
佢都算係咁噶啦。如果佢走真係羅夫，我唔好想塑造佢做一個羅夫，雖然佢係本身係一個羅夫。
Let's move out.
啊！先多謝啊，行啦。掉佢個窿度。隻手喐，居然唔死嘅傻，咁易死就冇嘢玩啦。18歲。
You think that thing's gone?
你覺得嗰啲嘢走咗
Look like it went down that tunnel.
佢應該向住走廊走咗去嘅。
He's alive.
傑
Jason's
森未死
alive.
嘅，佢留咗記號俾我哋嘅。
Things aren't going so badly after all.
Back there.
首先，
Thanks for looking
多
out
謝
for
你
me.。
All right, let's find Kolchak.
Kolchak.
What are you waiting for?
諗得
A
出
written
啦，
invitation? Let's go.
It's time.
應該而家要講。
It's absolutely not the time.
Rachel, I know you said to put things on ice, but you can't pretend like this
之前
didn't
佢頭先
happen.
先救你一命，你而家要佢攤牌。
Especially with you wearing your ring again.
佢都知啦，有冇需要講啫？其實。
It is time. Roll it out for us.
Now?
Right.
Right fucking
即係
now?
而家
Yes, now.
係啊，
We
而
may
家
not have another
好防
chance.，
如果唔係嘅話，之後冇機會講嘅。
Eric, you and I,
我同你
we had something very special.
曾經好特別，
But that was a long time
曾
ago.
經。揀愛意定係我愛你定係你居然選咗他？你會揀咩？佢愛意係咩喎？可能有機會反敗為勝嘅喎。咁啊，佢居唔係居然選咗他啦，因為佢都符合翻佢性格嘅。
Him?
你居然揀個兵仔！
Choosing him.
This isn't about choosing.
而家唔係揀邊個嘅問題嘅，而係邊個對我好啊！
I don't
對
have
你已經冇
feelings for
感
you,
覺
Eric.
啦，嗌水黑，
Not anymore.
我可以安心賣你啊！
再也沒
You
有。
either, Nick. We're done.
哦，佢兩個都唔要喎，
I don't believe it.
佢就係兩個都唔要喎。
係咯，
We were over a year ago.
咁我都覺得個低 B 仔又
I
係
don't
你
need
逼
anyone's
佢
help
逼
to
佢講
climb
乜
out
嘢
of this
啫？
hell.
其實我覺得佢
So
唔
now
需
you
要，
both
做乜
know.
逼佢做乜嘢啫？
Maybe we can stop fucking around and go find Kolchak.
有冇聽過咩叫欲速？
啱啊！兩條線可以一齊賣佢。
欲速則不達啊！
有冇諗過呢個結局非常完美？
都怪你。
係兩條
喂
仔一齊。
喂，咁係咪應該唔好鬧佢啊？我哋而家同一陣線嘅喎。
係啊，冇錯。但我都冇意思。
What just
我
happened?
哋係朋友啦。
係啊。
我哋合謀賣佢啦。
none of this would have happened if
你
you
乖乖留喺屋企嘅話，就唔會發生呢樣
No,
嘢。
it's funny.
其
I
實都
was
幾好
thinking the
笑
same thing
啊，
about
因為
you.
我對你嘅睇法都一樣。大家都嚟屋企，一齊睇台咯，都幾好啊！行得望啊！佢兩個落咗地獄啦，係下低有冇龍緊跟住嚟？好似啲潛落下低都有條龍哇！好型，好多蛋啊！或者蛋，同埋佢冇諗過吸呢啲氣體，可能有機會有毒。
武器係咪？
I've seen some fucked up shit in my life.
呢個畫面真係
Comes
正，
close to this.
應該喺嗰度開
I
live
don't
啊！
seem to be following.
Would you like to wait for them
你
or
想等佢哋嚟定
You
點
need
啊？
to be a smart ass. Just move.
唔好嘴眼啊，行得望。小集，睇先，呢度有本書。
但我睇台冇琴日咯，
都係卡下啊嘛，卡咗下。
即係加下算啦，撈場之後。但起碼我睇呢度睇過去啲
都整體都順嘅，哦咁得啦。咁就掂啊！但係真係唔使低啦。呢個應該係有預示啊。呢個係棍佬嚟喎，棍佬俾人爆頭喎。棍佬俾人哋撳住個頭，即係呢個啊，好巴巴。呢條係咩嚟㗎？四符嘅柱，似唔似啊？Save point。
What is that?
係啲蛹嚟嘅，好似有啲嘢會喺嗰度爬出嚟。
Looks like those things came from here.
smells
嗰啲
like
嘢係咩嚟
formaldehyde?
'Cause Since when did you become a scientist?
你幾時變咗科學家㗎？
They don't teach you American science at
嚇！
school.
你哋美國人嘅學校唔教科學嘅咩？
We should stay clear of it.
支粒蛋彈出嚟睇下會唔會有蟲喺裏邊啊？定下呢啲啊？如果俾你去到呢個地方，你會有咩反應？你會有咩做？你會支粒蛋彈？咁地下無力丁有冇書喺度嘅？
Belongs to Randolph Hodgson. He's got some
Welcome.
intel to help.
我冇腦喺度。
冇氣啦！乜有嘢嗰啲啊？周圍都係啲紙片。
This was all Lady Bradshaw's doing. She knew all along what was down here. She led us to them. I found her below, hunched over the murdered corpse of Van Hoyten. As she turned to face me, I saw that she had changed. My hand fell to the closest weapon I could find, an iron tent peg. I stabbed her with the metal,
官宣女，
peeling her in the heart. She died.
我呢個一
And
開
holy
始嗰個喺
screams
牛
echoed
斯就係
below,
就係佢老婆。
as if answering the sudden release of blood. 請你好好放下。啱埋呢邊啊！呢邊，冇路喎，但係啲合作爬上去啊！上得望。请放掉埋伏。
Yeah, what you said.
Oreo 嘅。肚餓啦，打魔食。啊？呢度邊咩地獄啊？
Is this even real?
呢啲係咪真嘅？
We are being judged. God is punishing us all for the mistakes we've ever made.
夠啦，要懺悔啦，講拜收先講啦。
Zane is all I have left in this world. After my wife left us, I gave him my all. I wanted him to have everything I didn't.
Single parent.
單親爸爸
Fucking gig.
超他媽辛苦。
It is. But my boy has made me very proud.
兒子對用我引以為榮，佢準備去倫敦讀大學啦。
If only he would stop stealing.
如果佢可以唔偷嘢嘅話，咁幾好。
I miss him so much.
好掛住佢嘅。I miss him。啊！呢個外星人基地嘅好似。
Is your conscience clear, Jason?
冇愧對良心嘅咩？呢兩個應該要坦誠相
Green
對
zone.
機。
Checkpoint.
What checkpoint?
因為呢兩個唔坦誠相對嘅話，恐防之後又會有賣人。
Naked
嚇？
eye.
佢有戒心先上升。
We were
Hello?
caught in traffic.
啱啱你係有戒心上升喎。
Checkpoint had been hit before by suicide bombers.
唔知咧，
呢個呢個 opposite
是但啦
There's。a woman. She was carrying a bag.
即係呢個有限度誠實啦，
就好似你咁樣，有限度成
有限度長。
點解你咁光睇
I ordered.
光？點解我哋睇會暗啲？
I ordered for her to stop, loud and clear, but she didn't. She just kept on walking. I had to make a call.
我一定要做出決定啊！
Nick,
於是一嘢轟落去，
he shot her dead.
射佢，shit！
What was in the bag?
袋裏面裝啲乜嘢啊？
Groceries.
只係啲垃圾嘅。
I don't understand.
我唔明啊，
Why didn't she stop?
點解佢唔停低啊？
She didn't hear me.
因為佢係聾嘅，
She had fucking
好
headphones
似佢戴耳
on.
機嘅。
This bullshit.
與巧合中嘅
I'm not here to honor the dead.
中自有主宰。
Truth is,
命運中自
my
有
life
主
was
宰。
going nowhere fast. I jumped at the chance to sign up.
We all have our reasons. They don't have
佢
to
哋
be
都係
different.
苦衷，無論有冇意義都好。
Found, huh?
你知意義啊嘛？
When those towers were hit.
大樓俾撞嗰
I
下
was，stoned out of my
我急到
fucking
急到
skull.
咩都唔知。
I didn't even hear about
嗰
it
個禮
until
拜
a
之後
week
先知
later.
道發生咩事，
How's that for profound?
咁樣有冇意義啊？
都有嘅。
I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing here.
You're serving your country.
That woman had a family, friends. She had her whole life in front of her.
我大好嘅人生
We，snuffed it out with a single bullet.
我俾我哋一槍轟爆，
少少廢話。
What the fuck?
拉人性啊嘛！大兵嘅懺悔，
I can hear you thinking.
呢啲思考聲大到
We're
我聽
waiting
到。
for something to happen. Maybe we should take the initiative and make something happen.
What you have in mind?
你諗過
We
咩
go
啊？
inside there
我
and
哋
we
殺入
find a
去，
way
然後
to
捉低佢
hurt
哋。
them.
Those fucking things
嗰
tried
啲
to
嘢
fuck
想
with
玩我哋
our
個腦
heads.
啊！佢哋想殺我
They tried
哋
to
啊！
kill us. But you and I, we're both standing.
但係我哋都
Start
未
believing,
死喎。
Salim. We're gonna get out of here.
我一定會離開呢度嘅。
Is that what you truly believe?
你真係咁
Hoorah!
哦
What on earth is that sound?
咩聲？
Marine thing.
Ah, so
你嚟
does
得
that
我啊！
make me a marine too?
而家先係我哋唔
Let's
知
not
道
get
咧。
ahead of ourselves, huh?
據呢啲嘢前先講啦，
Hey. Whatever
關係
happens
已
out
更新
there,，
好感度上升，
We'll stand together. It's the
我
only
哋一
way.
齊並肩作戰。機其實我覺得你兩個人要闖入一個咁嘅未知地域嘅時候，我覺得多同伴都好過多敵人啦，係咪先？即係難聽啲講，真係要打嘅話出咗先打啦。所以嗰下佢哋自己個槍戰其實好戇居，即係你明知道有第三軍勢力喺度喎，你仲喺度戇居居有槍戰。係啊，你咪益咗人咯。
佢都介意。完全唔屈。
哇！爆彈！
What is this?
先發生咩事啊？
一冇人啊，竟然使病毒。
唔知咧，是但啦。佢哋入到嚟都預咗唔會健康咁走。喂，呢度好似有個石像咁嘅嘢。
怪啊嘛！
究竟係咪怪咧？佢會冬眠㗎嘛？石像鬼。但係佢嘈醒一隻就會全軍嚟㗎。我參嚟這種書，冚家祠堂多交魚。
佢呢度係可能
點啊？唔係啊，咁佢爆悲線咪得咯。
走唔切㗎。
咁可能自殺式旅程咧？
自殺式旅程咁啊，冇講啦。
This gotta be where those things come from.
I think so. Question
咁
is,
佢問題佢可能佢想喺臨死之前了解究竟自己有做過，即係遇到啲乜嘢，做過啲乜嘢咧，係咪先得個明白都可能好事嚟嘅。跟住撳完呢架太空船，信唔信啊？好羅米修斯。
哦。啱啊，滿足。似得 keep 咗啲嘢。
斜 K 冇嘅咁大個喎呢啲嘅。
有啊，有個位㗎真係。
Over here.
你話係有冇？蘋果又租有啦，我唔通你拗呢啲嘅。
this could have been down here for thousands of years.
呢啲嘢可能應該地底成千年㗎啦，
No,
絕對唔係
it's possible
上帝
we've got this
建
wrong
造。
way around.
你會可能你搞錯咗喎，
Supposed to mean.
你有乜春啊？
Maybe we're intruding on
或
them.
者我呢啲入侵者喐啊！
Lane, check
呢個
this
路係
out.
咩嘅？
Sounds like music.
That don't sound like any music from where I'm from.
Okay, maybe not
睇好
music.
船呢邊，會多
Maybe
遠係？
a language.
Now, you've seen those motherfuckers. They're not exactly the chatty type.
You shouldn't underestimate them. Look at this place. Those
我哋先
things
由
are
左邊開始 check 起啦。左邊冇嘢嘅，好 check 右邊，
This moths is everywhere.
但係冇路落㗎咯喎，呢度可以跳落嘅。超
冇嘢啦，人仔識人啦。
喺呢有個掣可以拉喎。
唔係擺喺張床上咩？
Slade,
喂，三毛，你
check
望
this
下，
out.
望乜春啊？
It's one of those creatures.
係嗰隻嘢
Way
喎，
older.
Ancient.
好古老啊！
You don't think it's alive, do you? Touch it,
摸下佢啊！
You
一摸
touch
咗
it.
佢，
摸乜春啊？
pussy.
叉燒個摸啊！冇膽鬼！一如風雲變花龍。
Did you see that?
Of course I fucking saw it.
That creature is fossilized. Must be millions of years old.
一如風雲變花龍嘅。佢請前行先。誒，
啲神仙，
國貨。
愛斯人係我個手好似講過。
呢個係咩嚟㗎？係有人嚟過嘅喎，
啲人
呢個人嚟㗎。睇嗰半邊面令佢唔腐化咯，
Look at him.
幾乖吧，唔腐化。
Armor.
睇下盔甲，
This guy's goddamn
骨
biblical.
董人。咦？隻眼喐，
呢個咪
哇！隻眼會喐㗎，
Shit!
呢個咪就開
Did you see that?
貨啊！而家貨
I think he's still alive.
好似未死㗎，
That's
點
impossible.
可能啊？半邊身爛咗
Yes,
喎佢。
please. Everything's possible.
Shit. Fucker's been alive all this time? Just sitting here with half a head?
得半邊身但未死，應
He must have preserved his flesh.
該係液體令佢可以活着啊！
What should we do?
我點算啊？
We can't leave him like this.
Well, shit. You had enough time to get used to it?
I'm serious.
我認真㗎，唔好開槍啊！
The noise will attract the vampires.
先活人佢會鬼嚟㗎，等我攞棍一嘢捅落去啦！
咁清楚嘅，其實佢未嚇
Riccardi motiv mutak.
咁想佢一個安息都係一個都合理嘅，咁出於呢個武士嘅尊重啫，係咪先？就好似啲人話咁樣斬頭嗰啲咁嘅情況一樣，斬頭係俾佢個尊重啊嘛，尊嚴地死去，有尊嚴地死去。但係雖然我成日覺得斬頭有咩尊嚴，理解不能。人都死咗，尊嚴有咩用？爬省，我向前行啊，都未行完前面，快爬省，前面可能有嘢㗎。
要開咯。
算啦，過咗啦已經。有冇落翻？應該冇啦，冇嘅，上咗嚟我落翻嚟。因為呢度仲有路可以行。啱啱我唔知呢度可以行過，是但啦。可能都唔係啲咩重要嘢。哇！打大佬啊！突然間窒咗一下，我呢個位仲係打大佬，爬上去打大佬啦，咁寬闊，使唔使啊？好少咯，行啦。
咁都秘密。
秘密，秘密，什麼秘密？打大佬啊！呢度，識唔識啊？寬闊嘅場所，寬闊嘅場所。
我喺度想㗎，未到啊！我送田基平夫子啦。
咩啊？有入啲大佬入㗎嘛？
田基平啊，等先。
小怪。
有乜食著啊？
呢個冇液體嘅，前面有液體嘅，液體係咪有古怪啊？
液體即係你仲在生咯。
唔知咧。
你生液體嗰個令到嗰啲嘢。
佢喺液體喺地下啫喎。 死人頭，冇錯，我係死人頭。呢個係嗰隻嘢個頭。真係有人都唔睇牙醫啊，冇晒牙。個頭點擺啊？由內向外衝擊。由內向外啊！哇！你呢啲嘢本身唔係吸血鬼啊。
爆出嚟。
係嘅，你受到感染，即係有嘢喺佢裏邊控制住佢嘅，佢只係一個軀殼。所以佢唔會死咯。所以你用普通槍械令佢唔會有反應咯，因為佢根本佢即係霸佔咗佢身體一個位置。
宿主嚟嘅啫，啲仔。
宿主。
翻到嚟。
咁我同上我女。
中獎啊！
嚟啦！
嚟啦！大佬要嚟啦！
咩啊？啟動機關啊！喐下佢準備。
好大隻曱甴咁樣。
我呢隻擺明係喐㗎啦。呢個吧，保持安靜。
當時都失敗，相當要保持安靜嘅時候，當時都會失敗。
其實佢哋都知道嗰啲係會醒嘅。
差啲蛋嘅啫。
後尾我踩呢啲嘢會嘈死。
係啊，攞嚟咯，一睇就知啦。咩保持安靜啊？
因我冇咁易。
通常到最尾你點都要踩到。呢個唔好玩，通常都係咁啦。
冇咁易。睇過幾多次？追得2次咯，一直。真係。我嘅槍。人怪。係咪啊？我俾佢俾咗指示佢啦。佢入去啊！I'll cover you. Go. 行啊！咁樣起碼開下燈。哦！最後。研究。
Shit, Nicky. You turned up like the fucking cavalry. I thought you were dead.
你死咗啦！你又死咗，你全家死咗。
未輪到佢係嘛
Colonel, you made it.
Crawling through that tunnel was a highly unpleasant
可能
experience.
佢假腳嚟嘅，可能佢假腳會救佢一命都唔出奇。
知咧。
Good to see you again, man. Take my hand.
唔需要你。我因為結心嚟嘅，所以佢拖嘢手。嗰兩個唔想理啊嘛。
I'm glad you're here, man.
莫非佢將個 target 落咗結心度？你結心係機嘅噃。 3877咯。佢上翻去㗎咯喎。
What is this place?
長生不老泉。
不過唔知可能係
呢啲吸血鬼就係守護呢個
We
地
need
方
a
嘅。
plan.
Fuck those things up and get the
炸
fuck
爆
out.
嘢，然後走
Good
啦，
plan.
好簡單咧。
Sergeant K,
我想
what we
問啊，
got
仲有
left?
咩裝備整
So
啊？
we got
我哋有
8 clips of 556 FMJ,
8
3
個彈
40
夾
mil high X
3 個
rounds,
高爆
couple of
彈
9 mil pistols,
幾把
4
手
clips
手
of
槍仔嘅，但係得
we'll
4
make
個
that
彈夾
work.
啫。
Huh. Plus 2 phosphor rounds
8輪彈2粒，
and 1 block
仲有一嚿
of
C4 啊，
composition C4.
都幾多嘢喎講真。
係咯，隨時點可以帶咁多嘢佢哋？
All
兵
in
多
is
物
not
博，
enough.
但係得咁多唔夠
Also
啊！
got this.
我哋都有幾個炸彈
It's
啊！
all
啲嘢
unpredictable.
已經好耐嘅啦，唔知咩用嘅。加減用
We
啦，
have
冇
fuse
咁
or
多啦。
shot, but we can use
雖
the
然打
C4
有
to
線嘅，
detonate.
但係可以攞
Let's just
C4 啊，
hope they
令
still
到我呢個
back
威力
punch.
增
The
加。
vampires come from those cocoons. You saw how many there were in that vault? There could be
可能
thousands in
幾
there.
千個㗎，
Should we blow them up?
點
Burn as
好
many
啊？
of
炸
those
爆佢啊！
motherfuckers as we
炸
can
到
and head
炸
for the
幾多啊
surface.？
然後我哋向
What
地
do
面
you
移
think,
動。
Sergeant?
中士你覺得咧？哇！喺
I'm
佢
not
俾
gonna
我
allow
手
him
槍。
to carry a pistol.
We are way past that point now, man.
而家唔好講
We
啦，
stand
我哋要
together as
團
one.
結抗敵啊！
Still got that med kit. That'd be a
呢
good
個翻
time
如果
to
你
use
新
it.
嘅話，而家應該攞出嚟用啊！
It's looking pretty late. I can only patch up 1 person.
咁我呢個嘢只可以幫
We
一個人
need
醫療啊！
justice, no excuses.
You won't get any from me. Thanks, buddy. Looks
嚇
like our
佢
explorer
佢
friends
只可以
are
幫個人
here
醫
too.
療，最後佢幫阿傑森醫療咗咯。咁我成日都事實上都合理嘅。好明顯呢站裏邊，傑森係最有戰鬥能力嗰個人嚟㗎啦。幫控制條女嘅喂，
交談啫。
點啊？死
Here,
得
let
未
me
啊
help？you.
我幫你整咩假腳啦？
Fine.
我冇
I've done it
嘢，
before.
I've done it many times since.
我經驗唔會少得過你嘅。佢咪自己整啦？
Deal me, won't it? Fuck. What am I saying? What is wrong with me?
Rachel, are you okay?
點解俾人同佢
Rachel.
I'm fine. I'm fine. Fix
你搞爆
yourself.
佢啦！擺問題啦，都唔使諗啊！所以到最後佢應該係臨出去嗰下自殺咯，唔可以帶呢啲嘢出去啊嘛。防毒面具綠歌，守
What
護
was in
呢
it
個
for
神
him?
殿，唔好笑嘅
Is it
惡
really
人。
all about these tablets?
What I wouldn't give to see
如果
daylight
陽
again.
光咗，要做啲乜都肯。
Daylight and a cold one.
陽光同啤酒啊
That
嘛，
whole mess with you and Nick.
都係微黑，
It's out in the
已
open,
經公
right?
開咗啦嘛。
It's for the best.
為咗大家好啊，其他
Regardless
嘅
of
擺埋邊
everything
先啦
else.，
秘密令人健康唔到啊！
Secrets keep you sick.
調查底座，嚟睇下我揾到啲嘢啊！要肚餓喺度唔知咩。
The bones of this temple are drenched
浸
in
喺啲
blood.
鮮血裏邊啦，
We have set foot on an uncharted shore
人煙未知神
and
呢一
roused
個
something ancient and
經
wicked,
驗咗呢個古代
a
嘅
blasphemy that comes in indescribable shapes and forms. For eons we lived as children in this world, unaware of the horrors that slumber beneath our feet. Now we have blindly thrown open the gates to madness. I fear being taken, but I must do what I must. We must seal this place for eternity, for all mankind. Mary, I'm sorry.
咁啊！
都係冇做錯咯。
佢炸到個洞啫，但係佢係殺 咁殺咗馬里先至封咗洞。
馬里阻止佢咯，馬里覺得佢可以變好。
咩啊？馬里變咗怪啊！佢攞支鐵針懟死佢啊！
都係啊。
None of them made it out alive.
係啊，全部都死晒最後係長埋咗
呢
呢
個都係佢哋嘅結局咯。
都 OK 啊！我覺得有人生存嘅。又講啦，狩獵目標植入寄生物，體內孕育寄生物，宿主死亡，或者由呢個寄生物掌控咯。即係佢整死你，然後就攞你個 body 啦。body， 咁佢已經知道自己下場啦。
冇錯。
都唔奇啊！好，我哋睇下呢個先。有預兆啦。攻啊！係咯，飯店喎。樂譜嚟喎。生物嘅音律語言。
可以同佢溝通。
唔係佢研究佢嚟到嘅。
They'll work. This thing with you, me, and
Forget it, Nick.
I'm just saying.
Don't. Keep your head clear of everything with the
處
task
理咗眼
ahead.
前嘅嘢先啊，因為我哋
It's
全
the
部死
only
喺
way
度
to
啊。
live.
就邊個未講啊？殺人好。
It's singing.
有聲。
聲會影響佢。
Are you okay?
我哋冇嘢啊嘛。
There's meaning here.
It's a language formed from chords.
和弦組成嘅音階音律。
Mary was a pianist. She deciphered it. She thought these carvings represented the stars. Do you see? It's Cetus, the whale.
We're a long way from the night sky.
That's a mystery.
一切成謎。
According to the journal, there
記
was
錄上
only
有寫
one
住
scale of sound
直
in
只
the
有個音
device.
階，
But Mary was studying it alone.
但係得馬里都研究啫
I
喎，
think there may be
我覺得
another.
可能只有一個，
I'm going to need your help.
我需要你
What
幫
can I
忙。
do?
This console is too big to operate single-handedly.
我噴咗嗰啲氣體嘅，唔知咩嚟嘅。
Isn't that something? Mary believed that these creatures were once peaceful. Their language was one of music. How could they not feel emotion? Then a tragedy fell upon them. Their great empire collapsed. Their music fell silent, and they turned on each other. happened? Sickness? Madness? What turned them from architects into killers? Whatever it is, it twisted them. Now they're creatures of hate. Animals. Dead things. No one left to kill. So they slept. And they waited.
啊！佢攞部能燈去炸爆啲彈藥佢啊！
炸爆呢個機影啊！
Shit! Rachel!
你想自殺？
梗唔係啦，
Rachel? Rachel! Rachel!
撞落地下。
Rachel! Rachel! Rachel, look at me.
我發火叫你。
She has it. It's inside her.
點會有啲喺個體內啊？ 宇宙大爆炸！點解佢夾住嚿嘢？佢想點啊？
I'm sorry.
What?
They came from the stars. This isn't their home. It's an ark.
Do something! She's turning into one of them!
Please, Rachel, you have to hold on.
It's killing me.
I'll put her out of her misery. Hold her the fuck down.
撳住
We can
佢
still save her.
There's gotta be a way we can't lose her!
There's no other way.
冇辦法㗎啦，
Hold it
撳住
down.
佢啦！佢話可以揀殺自己，叫佢殺咗佢自己，定或者唔殺喎？
都殺咗佢自己。
即係阿瑞秋揀嘅呢個係可以叫佢殺咗佢，佢有尊嚴地死嘅。
咁啊，咁尊嚴地死咯。
肯定。
你頭先都想自殺㗎啦。
Sure。
是但咧，係啊，你廢目都係全面死亡，冇乜所謂。
Kill me.
衝低我啦！頂唔到啦！
Fuck Rachel.
佢都落唔到手啦，佢落唔到手啦。
I have to put you
佢
down.
俾你揀殺唔殺啦？佢唔落。
你等咩啊？你係咪肯定要佢死啊？
是但啦，唔死都 OK。
What are you waiting for?
無聊。
係全面死亡，準備仲有4個。
最應該死過死咗啦。
所以我哋學。
你話要賣佢啊嘛，佢兩個撳住佢賣佢咯，佢撳住俾佢瞄。唔好笑
Be
啦，
done. Stand up, Sergeant
唔
K.
好揀啊！起身都望。
Those things aren't done. You'll have heard the gunshot.
嗰啲人唔蠢嘅，佢哋聽到槍聲，我哋要走啊！
You too, Colonel. We gotta go.
Goodbye, Rach.
再見啦，
And I'll always love you.
我要愛着你。就算冇衰了也深愛你。 刀。
唔係啊，唔柒
我知，
翻
我
山㗎。
知，我知，我只係搞爛 get 啫。我只是在搞爛 get，you know。
Don't know。
算啦，仲有3000幾啊！佢喺呢個地方
You
有
seeing
排
what
啦
I'm，seeing?
你咪睇緊我睇緊嘅嘢啊！
Those mounds are made of cocoons.
佢山丘係由蛹變成，起碼幾千個。要將個炸彈放喺嗰度，嗰陣一夜燒死晒佢哋。
到咗佢哋走處先得㗎。
佢 C4 啊嘛，C4 有引爆器㗎嘛。同埋佢唔使插喺山頂度，可以插山底㗎嘛。係有兩個格喺度。
Shit, they're hatching. We gotta move, quick. Okay, listen up. We've been hit hard tonight.
咁啊，大家都唔好手
We
啊！
lost
啲女冇
brothers
晒啦，
and we lost Rachel.
我哋冇晒啲女啊！
But now, it's time to get
要
some
報仇
payback.
啊！報仇！
We plant charges on as many of those clusters as possible and then detonate them remotely.
將隻炸彈落
Second
去
those charges go off, we haul ass to the
要
exit. If luck is on our side, we'll do more than fry a few
我講過啊
vampires.
唔會燒到幾隻咁嘅鬼嘅，仲可以熄到激西啲。
You ready?
你準備好未啊？
Okay then.
準備好就行
Get
啦，唔
loose,
好諗啊！
kids.
因為我買衫先講啦。
Okay. Who's going to place the
咁話
dynamite?
話啦，邊個放炸彈啊？
唔係人，
梗係猜輸咗過去㗎啦。
唔係人放啲嘅咩？
Alright, fuck it. I'll
好
do it.
啦，我去啊！
You're crazy. We'll do it
黐咗
together.
線啊！
The
我一
more
齊
of us
去啊
down！there,
好
the
啊！
more chances we'll
越
get
多
seen.
人去就越易俾人發現啊！
Dig's detonator. If I
佢攞
don't
引爆
make
器
it, ，
如果我成失敗
hear
嘅
me
話
out.，If I don't
聽
make
住
it,
啊！如果失敗嘅話，
I want you to blow those
就炸爆
charges.
佢啊！唔好諗啊！
Just don't go getting trigger happy on me.
只要冇你
Every
咁
step of
急
the
啊！
way, you keep them radio contact.
隨時要
And if
打
there's
翻
no
我
radio signal,
Then I'll pop a flare. See it go up.
如
You
果
hit
信
that
號彈你就
detonator.
爆啊！
Be quick.
呢個啲
Be
太
safe.
快佢啦。
You hear me, buddy?
一定要快啊！兄弟，聽唔聽到啊？
第
哇
2號犧牲者準備上路啦。
！Rest in peace。咁佢自告奮勇衝向前，咁我都阻止唔到佢啊！即係做人切幾樣嘢就係唔好衝出嚟做。
I can't make it out.
佢醒人哋。
There. There's one ahead of him.
森林冇嘅就喺佢前面啊，左面啊！
First dynamite is
有個
down.
炸彈搞掂啦！
通常啲人怪，跟住就喺買佢啦。
Which way? Left
一
or
定有
right?
啊！又有怪喎！右邊有怪喎！哎呀，死啦！哦，佢將個藥俾咗佢嘅。我滴血俾佢聽到。我奶嘅血。 嚟啦！你成聽到吧？又嚟！好啊！佢 白痴仔就開槍嚟嘅。哇！全部都係。
跟住有飛過。呢度係飛過，咁佢飛邊嘅？
咩啊？嗰個人都喺度啦，基本上佢都走唔到啊！
係啊，包養犧牲者。
唉，時代犧牲品俾人夾起。
Holy shit.
It's getting kind of hairy down there, brother.
你擺完炸彈快走啊！唔好咁啊！
And head back.
Look at that, man. It's the mother lode.
It's too
快
far.
點啊！誒，前進定撤退啊？
前進係死硬嘅，撤退最撞怪。
但係問題你要完成任務啊，落得嚟梗係要完成任務㗎啦。
好，前進我哋。
I'm going for it.
反正我真係諗住買佢啊！
唔係賣佢啊！我覺得你落得嚟要完成任務㗎嘛，你完成唔到任務你落咩嚟啫？係咪咁講先？
This is way too easy.
哇！完啦！請放用 knife。
Oh no. What is it? There are too many.
太多啦，佢死硬啊！
He's a dead man.
Sweet baby
我啲老天鵝。
Wait! What will warning him do
佢
now?
都冇㗎啦，佢走唔到啊！
There is no way out.
我覺得你起碼佢死得有作用先啦。
You know he won't make it.
你知佢會
Let
好
him
落
finish
嘅
his work.
俾佢任務啦。
He won't even feel it when it comes.
It's clear, Nick. You're all clear.
There's that tell again. They're onto me, aren't they?
Sorry, baby.
Like I said, no one's got the balls to tell it to me straight.
冇人有種同我講實話，
Just get the detonate ready.
反正我將個起爆器準備好啊！又嚟啦！一失手就可以咁爆引爆啦！
我哋成功喺就。
冇啦，已經包圍啦，佢走啦。呢度好心急，喂！你個炸彈擋住咗個掣啊！喂，又爆乾。哇！三連發啦！喂，黐底啊！佢嗰個揈下好辛苦啊！喂，
幾時啊？
係啊，佢就係喺度揈下搞到好辛苦啊！睇得。
Charges in place.
搞掂啦，炸彈！好多嚟係咯。咁啊！起碼佢死有價值嘅。同 同埋佢自己自告奮勇去嘅，其實可以唔去嘅。
要跑啦，跑快！
點怪啦？走啦，唔好再諗啊！如果佢哋係防火嘅，
做咩抗火性？
居然冇死咯！
會唔會扯啊少少？
Does anyone copy?
Is it Nick? He's alive. Nick, confirm your position.
I'm 200 meters from the door. Bearing 320. But I'm injured. I need help. Shit.
Hang tight, Sergeant. We're on our way.
我想講佢踩住佢咯。敵血人怪咯。佢死係有價值嘅咯。
佢係 hero。
佢兩次死都係夠價值嘅咯。
hero。
係啊，你好過其他啲垃圾啊，大佬。佢兩個佢即係佢死兩次都係有價值嘅，大佬。好啦，剩翻呢3個啦，邊個走唔甩咧？喂，3個分開咗喎。係熱心，我覺得應該唔會死嘅。傑森睇到內心戲嘅，我覺得傑森同巴巴應該唔會死住嘅，應該係跛佬會死先。呢個太過小兵啦。
假做到嘅啫。
佢沙林姆會死啊
Celine, come in, man. Are you there?
會不去啦，好多後果啊！
啱啱死咗唔好睇過喎。仲有流血都流血。
He's a dead
佢
man.
死硬㗎
We
啦，
need to
走
go.
啦！
I can't make it out of here without your
冇
help.
你幫忙，我根本冇法離開嘅，唔好咁低我啊！救佢啦，一齊去！
That man
嗰人
is
係
not
我哋
one
同
of
伴
us.
嚟㗎，
分咗佢。
我呢隊兄弟見死不救。
Yes。
You're wrong.
你錯啊！
Salim
佢
is
係
one
我
of
哋
us
同
now.
伴啊！
Marines
戰隊係
don't
冇對
do
佢
that.
見死不救嘅。
You hear me, Salim?
聽到沙林姆，冇翻嚟㗎。
Tell my son.
話俾我仔聽，佢爸爸要
Tell
盡
me
力
so.
你自己話俾佢聽啦，
I'm gonna get
我嚟揾你啊！影響而更新，巴巴先係離開嘅關鍵，絕對唔可以賣巴巴嚟講，可以賣跛腳嚟，用跛腳嗰陣都係死嘅啫。過嚟啊！無聊，會射中心臟。喂，過咗死做機會，捅落去，捅啦，唔好諗啊！無聊，唔使一捅都得㗎啦，唔使瞄心臟啦，我踩佢個頭筒。細佬啦，懟落去，中啦，中！喂，撳咗咯喎，喂，撳咗喎，無聊。 啦！俾子彈啊！我型啊！後邊啊 ！Behind you！ 哇勁！屌！哇型啊！簡直會唔會太型？嗱都唔係夠好巴巴啦，好巴巴先係離開關鍵。就先攞嚿嘢掉我啊！係啊，掉你啊！係咪好笑啊？行都冇，走啊！機咩啊？佢守住個機，佢冇賣，佢咪算係咁咯。佢冇賣，佢算係咁噶啦。佢而家打翻啲水，唔知點降翻落嚟啊！佢下低點降翻落？3000幾成翻800啊，大佬！
Bravo, Lieutenant.
好啊，中尉，你就喺我係得佢啊！
Oh man, that was unfucking Those things were all over us. We slammed, busted through them like it was the last down of the goddamn
超
Super
級
Bowl.
杯最後一次進攻一樣。不如離開咗先講啦。但係其實佢下低都冇事，上居都更加安全啦。總之係你做得就好啊嘛。但係我覺得上去都會做翻啲。
Fuck that. Best of the best.
可以同佢中晒招啊嘛。我覺得佢翻到去佢應該都會，佢翻到去應該都會退役啦，佢唔會做士兵啦，超。
呢個先係最神奇嘅地方。
唔知啦。哇！有3000幾上翻600幾啊！但問題佢揾到條路出去先，因為成8。Weekly， 走咯！先啦，你哋得2條啫。
揾到好耐。
What is it?
乜料啊？個水後哦，會積冠軍咧？佢應該踢佢落嚟。佢係救緊命咯喎！救佢咁佢，但係邊個咧？另外一個爬上去，只係得外表啫，佢咩都唔係啫。
You never should have brought her
如果
here.
帶佢嚟嘅，整啦冇。將爬多2個上嚟嘅大佬，都幾難爬嘅其實。
我考考要睇嚟㗎。
係啊。跟住咯，好啦，600幾啊，行程之後爬幾多咧？300。起碼翻大田先啦。佢有一個口度爬翻出去咯。佢揾咗個口。走唔翻咧？我睇我諗到冇圍城第一集，開始刪嗰啲機關。
There's a way out.
有個出口啊！打啦，幫我！佢兩個都棍。
我有喺度嗰啲。
頭先跌咗應該。點出去咧？丟完啦！
玩完？
居然咁樣遠？
冇理由㗎。
上翻地面喎！哇！點解變咗白頭髮嘅？
係咯，跟住變白頭喎，大佬。
哇！佢第一個上嚟。
啲灰啊！啲灰。
喂，佢第一個上嚟，佢第二個上嚟啦，佢完全唔諗住拉佢咯。
We're alive.
我哋未死啊！
We're fucking alive.
真係未死啊
Dropkick to Coyote 2. Radio check. Over.
This is Coyote 2. Solid copy. Evac units are
排
being
前唔
prepped.
單位嘅，
ETA 5 hours.
你要5
Wait.
個鐘後到啦。
We got back up again. We beat the enemy.
Look around you. So quiet.
You think those shepherds are still around here? I could use a cold one.
I must return home to my boy. He must be worried about me.
Oh.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me.
啲嘢衝上，要等5個鐘，要10個鐘。
佢因為遮咗太陽，所以佢可以喺飛嚟飛去。如果冇太陽，
Seal the exits. We hold them here.
封鎖出入口啊！我哋要守住呢度。
How much time do we have?
你要頂幾
6
耐啊？
minutes max.
6分鐘
Just need to
啊！
hold
要
out.
頂6分鐘
This
先
is
啊！
way too long.
6分鐘。
Can't rush the damn
你要出
moon.
嚟越浪快啲嘢。
They're breaking inside.
你就衝入去啦！過嚟啦！爆開咗！佢隻手冇離開我，怪你睇戲啫嘛，諗住已經離開咗食花生添。
Hold your gun!
懟爆你啊！懟爆你！懟爆你！
Too many of them!
佢太多啦！我仲有個彈夾啊！
What the fuck are we going to
點算
do?
啊？係呢度有大把彈夾啊！知用啊！係燃燒彈啊！信號彈。
Where are the bullets?
Light them. We can hold them off.
用火燒我哋啊！掉佢啊！你躲了！
Interesting knowing you.
認識你哋好有意思。燒佢，我以為掉佢添，原來攞支嘢喺度揈下揈下，做乜鬼？懟落去燒佢，應該先係辣佢咁。嚇到佢走咗，熱心。 你打得佢冇理由咩嘛？仲有一腳喎佢，我撐懟中個頭啊！ 插埋隻眼，好勁喎！呢個果然係最強嘅男人。插後頸再燒，哇！下幾殘忍，見到都殘忍。個爺機中意喺後邊騎佢，個臂，仲要嗰個，我再臂，哇！放落個頸度，女心口，勒頸，哇！兩隻圍佢，都幾難，係一條一個燈嘅啫。哦，完啦，佢冇咁懶啊！完，即係直升機嚟到，執隻燒雞翻去玩咯，做下實驗，變咗石頭咯。
你知道怕光嘅話，咁好簡單。
I need to see my boy。
我揾我仔。
嗰啲 UV light 落去，所以咩咯？研究。
A souvenir。
呢啲棍棍做紀念。
Shalane, wait.
森林冇周鼠啊！
Good luck,
祝你好
brother.
運兄弟。
You wish Zane a
幫
happy
黃贊
birthday
恩
from
講
me.
聲生日快樂啊！
Thank you, Jason。
多謝你嘅熱心。
Goodbye, my friend。
再見啦，朋友。你冇留翻電話俾我？
最終真係死咗隻狗落去。
啲冇用嘅死咗咯，最有用嗰啲全部冇事咯。但係我覺得跛腳窿應該會死嘅。跛腳窿唔死唔係有故事，我唔識。喂，做咩入個窿度啊？
打落皮人哋。
翻屋企經我個窿係咪？
係啊。
如果我係佢，我嚟行緊個窿嘅意欲都冇。哦，完啦，影響已更新。飛機嚟啦！喂，兩個人要兩架機，太奢侈。
1-4, do you have eyes on the friendly?
check 下我哋啲人啊！
There.
喺嗰度啊！
This is Mailman 2-1 Actual.
兩車1指揮官，我見到你哋啦，好前嚟啊！啲咯，嗱，好簡單，嗰條女，你點整佢走啊？佢條靚，跛腳條靚，佢中招㗎嘛，佢一落嚟中招喎，唔可以救。咁我係最後掉低咗啊！臭嘅，咁同埋銀字爆佬咯，唔係佢唔向前，我向後咯，但係問題你最後都係引爆唔到個 base 㗎。
你斬晒。
咁變相佢落去咪冇意義咯？
佢斬唔實，佢斬咗。
係啊，但係佢落去冇意義咯，變咗。
都會有。
唔係佢唔係佢話揸 base 就一年話唔揸 base 咁升到力晒。係啊。係啊，即係嗰度爆晒佢哋嗰啲。係啊，有好有唔好咯。
就會大家知道佢喺呢位就可以令佢全面生還。同埋啲好感度當然都要搞嘅，因為你都係唔會 個最好 ending。
嗱，得5個人嘅啫嘛，死咗2個咯，就係嗰2個。
就兩個咯，係兩個，唔知啊。
我哋玩翻最後一張咪得咯。最後一張。
你唔得㗎，因為你要 good end 最 end 冇 ending 喎。
You've guided some of your charges to the light, while others have fallen to the darkness. Survival often comes at a great cost, a cost that others sometimes must pay. I look forward to our next encounter. Perhaps I'll choose a story that's a little more homely next time, somewhere you'll be guaranteed of a decent night's sleep.
第4篇冇咩咯
Rest assured, wherever it is, you'll find it extremely hard to leave. Until the next time. You know the way out.
你知最後係邊嘅啦？
咩預告？第4篇預告。
有，一定有。通常臨完場嗰陣時，彈視幕就會係睇下一張啦。上一次咪睇過咯，上次睇到佢係伊拉克㗎嘛。
你睇咗？
落地底係啊，咁嗰次都應該有啦。
You're late, and you look like shit.
I just got off the red eye. What's your excuse?
Good flight?
Oh, shit movie, shit meal, no leg room.
Grab me in the back?
Lots of toilets. Coffee wasn't so bad, though. Good fucking muffins.
Did you read the brief?
On the flight. How's it going with the analysis team?
The ISG team took every losses, but it wasn't a disaster. We just had to scrape some of them off the floor.
What bastards? And the entities?
Like nothing we've seen
我
before.
捉咗隻雀仔去啊！
Kolchak Jason, First Lieutenant, Marine Force Recon.
唔係啊，嗰啲直入嗰啲蟲。
Or so they advertised.
Fuck! Now how many times do I have to keep telling you the same damn story?
I understand. However, CENTCOM needs to iron out any irregularities.
Such as? The whole fucking thing was irregular.
Such as why you allied with an enemy combatant.
You weren't fucking there! Those things were ripping us to shreds. I don't give a damn who it was. We needed all the help we could get. I stepped back into that hell to save Salim. And that man was worth 5 of you people. Semper fucking 5!
And Sergeant K?
Nikki didn't make it.
So they cooperated with an Iraqi soldier down there?
Republican Guard, if you can believe it. Must have made a hell of an impression for Kolchak to go back for him.
I'm dying to meet this guy.
超想同自己家伙見面。
Nothing to show. He walked.
The hell's that mean?
By the time the extraction team got here, he was gone. Could be across the border by now.
You son of a bitch. Now I see why Kolchak enlisted his help.
嚇！佢捉咗佢翻嚟啊！
The analysis team are still pulling specimens from the site. It's carnage down there.
They used dynamite?
炸彈。
We don't know how they got their hands on it.
嚇！軍人炸彈幾咁出奇？要俾佢條屍啊！李克。
Ah, shame. His testimony could have been valuable.
佢工時會好有用。
This is like Winterfold all over again.
不時佢家伙就應該淘汰。
Ah, and here we have Colonel Eric King, our in-house genius. He definitely got more than he bargained for.
Everything you know about biology just went up in smoke. These things, they're advanced. They're stronger than us, more intelligent than us. If you want to get ahead of this, you need to start taking me seriously.
None of us doubt the severity of the situation, Colonel. After all, most of your team didn't make it back alive.
And I'll have to live with that.
Let's move on to Kalis.
夾埋天神，係呢支咩嚟嘅 ？X1172。呢個咩嚟嘅？
She was infected. Her comrades had no choice but to...
冇得揀。
Parasite?
啲生物咧
Extracted.
點揾到出嚟咧？
You read her profile.
你睇佢個人資料。
Yeah. She could have gone far.
有所謂嘅。
If this hadn't happened.
怪呢單嘢。
你死肌肉。
You still on for next Sunday?
Janet's making hot pot. You bet your ass we're on.
I'll never get used to this job.
Why would you want to?
At least this home is localized.
Small blessings.
Still, what do you make of it all?
Doesn't matter what I think. Only thing that matters is controlling the flow of information. As far as the world knows, not a damn thing happened here.
You want to know what it means to be a killer? Think of the most profound thing you've ever done. The most beautiful thing you've ever created. And I promise you, it's nothing compared to watching the life bleed out of someone. To see the fear in their eyes. To feel them pawing at you for release. To hear them pleading, begging. That's true art. That's what you have to be, an artist. I've left my mark on the world. Have you?
會拆數啦。
呢個係 Season 1最後出嚟。
咩？
係啊，即係下一個啊，下關下一隻 game。好完。
哦完。
差唔多。
好似有其他模式嘅，你係咪？
冇啦。
好似有啊，你揀翻嗰啲模式落去。
我揀翻嗰啲雙字得先啦。12點嚟㗎，咁早。這麼早的喵？
佢今次嗰啲章節冇寫得咁清晰咯，所以其實都唔知。
哦，原來。新增黑選擇。
我想話俾你聽啲咩啫？啲名嗰啲啫。
冇咩名啊？係3部曲嘅。特別收集，特別收錄。有專訪咯，怪物創作者專訪。係啊，你要揾晒啲資料先有得睇專訪。睇唔睇你一個專訪啊？呢兩個一睇。係咪講？係咪播片㗎？
播片啦，應該係。
When the queen bitch finds out about this, she's gonna flip her shit.
Rachel and I, we know each other.
Sir?
Huh?
The queen bitch you're referring to is his wife. Nice work, Hotshot.
Ashley Tisdale, welcome. Now, Ashley plays Rachel in Supermassive Games' Dark Pictures Anthology's House of Ashes. All right, Ashley, what can you tell me about your character?
My character, Rachel, is a CIA operative, and it is taking place in 2003 in the Gulf War. And she is on a mission to find chemical weapons, so she's pretty badass.
Wow. This is your first time doing a video game.
This is my first time, yeah.
Wow. So how does that process compare to maybe the stuff that you've done, on camera before?
I think that it's just very obviously a different approach to it. I do a lot of voiceover for animation series, so I would say it's more in line with that because you're in a studio all day and it's like you and the script and then also like some of the other characters, but it's just like kind of going through it really fast. versus, you know, one scene on a TV show or a movie could take like an hour to 2 hours. So you're constantly going through it. It's a really long process, but it's cool, it's different. You're wearing like heavy machinery on your head. And it's like getting all of your facial expressions. So it's pretty crazy.
You can just be like completely like so muscular by the time you're done. Your neck will be.
My neck is super strong.
Yeah, the strongest neck ever now.
Yeah.
And how do you prepare for something like that? Then I feel like because the script, it's not maybe necessarily you're preparing for particular scenes. Everything is so varied. Like how do you really kind of get ready for it?
I pretty much, you know, obviously read the script beforehand, but I don't spend a lot of time on it like I would another script, like either with a movie or a TV, because it's the same thing of how I approach animations, is that I know when I'm here, I'm gonna be with the director and they're gonna have me do it like multiple different ways, because there is multiple different directions the character can go. So if I were to fully prepare, I would maybe like put myself in this like, well, it's gotta be this way. And I wanna feel free to like be able to have them say, do it more sympathetic and do it more angry. And so I kind of don't fully prepare. I just know who the character is, and as long as I know the intention of what I'm saying, then I'm good.
What is it?
The guy who served me, I don't know. He was looking at me pretty strange.
Probably doesn't get to see a woman like you around these parts very often, especially one that's showered.
With any series or film, there's just that one linear path for the character.
Yeah.
With this, you have the option of
there's
living
many
up
different
multiple. Yeah, how do you kind of keep it all straight or keep a continuity with your character through all that?
Honestly, I don't even remember half of it. You know, I think it's just obviously relying on the director, and the guys at Supermassive, they're just really great at knowing where we are in the storyline, and so it's just heavily trusting them. And then, you know, just kind of knowing, that it's just gonna go. I can't, you know, like there's just so many different areas that it can go. And I could die in one of the things, and I could become a vampire. I can like live. It's just like, it's so crazy how opposite.
It's got to be interesting too to think that someone's gonna like play you in a game, and then maybe you'll die or you'll live or you'll like the people will be in control of your future.
I know. I think it's gonna be really crazy just seeing my face on like the character. You know, like that's gonna be so wild. It's so crazy how far video games have come. It's so much more cinematic and like the movies that it's pretty wild. It's like beautiful to watch, but it's gonna be crazy.
Now, I guess we have a couple rapid-fire questions that I'd like to hit you with as well. Okay, ready for this? Okay, so bitten by a vampire or buried alive?
Ugh. Yeah, bitten by a vampire.
Oh, really?
Well, then you get to live forever, so, you know.
That is true. Okay, I never thought of that element of it. Things that you've shot so far, do you have a favorite scene?
I think my favorite scene would have to be probably early on between Rachel and her husband. It's a flashback, and it's them in the car, and it's a moment in time that kind of changes everything. And what I love about it is that it really shows who Rachel was and how it changed her to become who she is today. There's just so much happening in the game that it's just like a moment where it's just like really kind of stripped down and one-on-one, and I think it's a really beautiful scene.
What is it?
The guy who served me, I don't know, he was looking at me pretty strange.
You know, my sole objective, Rach, is to make you happy. Doesn't matter where we are or what we're going through, I'll always put a smile on your face. See? I told you.
So how do you get into that? Because I feel like, you know, it's sometimes it's such a sudden change from one scene to the next. So how do you kind of really get into that moment so quickly?
I think how we've done it is that we would start off with the earlier stuff. So it's kind of like you're building to the bigger pieces. And yeah, usually the end of the day, we'll have like the biggest stuff, whether that's us like screaming and fighting, because it obviously drains us and our vocals. So, you know, they know to kind of like have us do the whole like action stuff at the very end of the day.
They're breaking through the perimeter.
You got any bright ideas? Now's the time.
我想睇呢個真人嘅樣，決心。
really odd being like, okay, now we're going to be sweet, and now we're going to be screaming,
It's
and
hard
then
to
we're
go
gonna be dying,
backwards,
and then you're going to be back alive again, and this is a touching moment, and you're going to die. Yeah, and the first time it's going to be like a strange experience, kind of going off on your own and acting out that kind of separate.
Yeah, it's definitely a very interesting process to watch, and it's different from anything I've ever done.
Has it been hard to navigate doorways with the camera on? Like, do you find
Oh, no, I take them off right away.
Okay.
Anytime I can get a break, because it is a heavy thing, and so it's just like most of the time I'm sitting on the couch with it, like holding the helmet up, because it's like, you know, it's like a weight on your head. So it's pretty crazy.
It's expensive equipment. You don't want to like bang it on a door frame.
No.
Well, now that they've got you in the game, they can put you in anything.
I know. I'm so excited because I've never been able to play something like this.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's good. Cool.
Thank you.
正，仲有另一個聽唔聽話？怪物創作者專訪。
The creature has powerful claws and fangs formed from hardened, unidentifiable tissue. Two of the incisors appear grossly malformed and discolored. Blood is like nothing I've seen.
We always like to base our stories in some sort of real-world truth, a piece of folklore or a piece of mythology. With vampires, obviously, there's so much to choose from cultures all the way around the world. So rather than pick one particular legend, we thought it would be fun to create a monster that ties all of those legends together in some way. So we had an idea for a creature that lives underneath the ground and emerges every few years. Our vampire is actually an alien parasite. It invades a host body. The creatures that you see in House of Ashes, the winged demonic creatures, were actually once an intelligent race of cosmic nomads traveling through the stars on this big generation ship. They somehow picked up this alien parasite and it ravaged through their crew, and their ship went out of control and crash landed into prehistoric Earth, where it was buried under the ground in what is now the Zagros Mountains. Being a parasite, this alien slug needs to find a host body, a living body, or a recently dead one. Once it invades that body, it grows inside it, killing the host if host is still alive. And its tendrils reach out into the host's brain and hijack its central nervous system, sort of reanimating it. It then goes on the hunt for blood. It feeds on the adrenaline in blood. So in order to get the adrenaline pumping, it needs to terrify its prey. So it shrieks at them and drags the kill out until the blood is really, really pumping, and then it strikes.
You keep lookout.
We wanted to show the viewer different forms of the creature, make them think that initially it's a demon, then they think that it's a vampire, and then finally the revelation that it's an alien.
So just to explain where the parasites have come to infect some of our game characters, this shows a game character who's going through different stages, is infected, starts to affect the character, and there's a final look from that where the fangs are coming through the skull. So that's one of the developments of how our classic vampire is actually a host. Another example of that is an Akkadian warrior who's been taken over by the parasite, and again the fangs have come through, the vines are poking through the head. This human is now being taken over, his skin is dying, the parasite is trying to grow within. But we progressed that into looking at the design on the alien demon, I call it. This had to have very unique elements that came through from the head design. So we've got a very animalistic head here, but also we've got the fangs. These fangs are coming from the parasite that's within, so the fangs are coming through. It's almost deforming the shape of the host.
Oh, shit. What the fuck happened to your teeth, buddy?
We refined that further to what is our final head, where the ear is part of the skull and it flexes open. A bit like a frill lizard, where the frill of the canopy comes out, our head is actually moving apart. And we've got illustrations that show that, where the head is dormant and is concealed, but then as it hears and wants to resonate, the skull expands open. And that then allows the creature to hear and pick up on anything within the environment.
With characters, it's always good to base at least some of it on anatomy that we recognise, and that provides a foundation for the vampire. It's bipedal and human in its structure, but we've just changed things, tweaked them, made them a bit more alien. So, for example, the ribs joined together at the sternum to form a rib cage, but we've expanded it out quite a lot, and some of the ribs are fused together to make bony plates. It's just to suggest that it's had a very different evolution from a human. We tried a version with human-style legs, but in the end, we went for a dog-type leg. It just made it more creature-like and more threatening. And we added bird-like talons on the toes, just to give it some natural weapons and make it into a predator. We didn't want to focus too much on bat reference, because we were trying to steer away a bit from the classic bat-like vampire. We did go for 2 sets of bat-like wings. One of the shots in the game is of a vampire jumping down from above, backlit with its wings out in an attack pose. And when we saw that pose, we decided to add an extra set of wings attached at the hip joint. It just really helped that silhouette.
The environment is very interesting because they can use not just the floor, they can fly as well. They can walk on the walls, but they've got claws. And so imagine something really interesting in a cave where you've got creatures coming towards you, from every angle. I think that visually is something impactful and very interesting to look at, and scary.
One of the interesting parts is the finding of those nuances and details that really bring the character to life. How does it move? How does it behave and act? We had motion capture, and then we had the more traditional computer animation keyframing. On the motion capture side, there were a variety of different setups that we tested. We had arm extensions, and then we had various different leg stilts that our creature actor used. But what was apparent when filming this was that it really limited his movement. So in the end, we decided not to use any of that, and he just performed himself. Basically, this gave him the freedom to really express that physicality in acting and gesture.
They react to sound like bats. They hear you, they hunt you.
The vampires have these head plates, these bony kind of gristly structures on their heads that click and vibrate, kind of like a bat's echolocation. They're used to survey environments and to locate prey. We went through a lot of different iterations, and we tried a lot of different things. Like I think I sampled keyboards and mouse clicks, and then used a scooter fender and a wet trainer. And it made this organic, clicky, squeaky sound. And then I had a friend of mine in the States take a taser to a bunch of meat and a bunch of organic material, and it came out a lot more aggressive. It just sounded meaner.
I got something for you!
And then the biggest thing that we had was this little tiny drum and a rod with fishing line in between it. So when you twisted a rod, it made this clicking and popping sound. So that ended up being one of the main tonal layers for it. But none of them quite fit right. But once we put them all together and layered them all together on top of each other, then it started to actually work as a holistic, organic thing.
Something entirely new to House of Ashes, which is a classic horror movie trope, is the vampire point of view shots, which we use with a very wide lens, and we use some perspective distortion on those shots, which helps sell the power and hunger of the vampires as they're chasing the soldiers, and it helps make the soldiers feel very small and very weak. In doing so, it also helps us as the player realise that these vampires are inhuman, and that when we're watching what they're doing, they're bouncing off the walls and they're climbing the ceilings and flying. At any time in the game, the players could be running through an endless maze of tunnels, and we use very tight shots on these with a lot of handheld, a lot of tilt again, to emphasise this claustrophobicness and this tension and not being able to see what's chasing them. And it's in complete contrast then to later on in the game, where we see these grand environments that they uncover, which could be a temple, a city, or things like that, that we have these wide shots that really sit still and just let the player soak in that environment.
This is the most complex creature that we have ever animated in the studio. But the challenge is more than a challenge. Is the fun to do it because it's not a real creature. You can push it in a way that you can use your imagination to make it more interesting.
We're facing an enemy we know zero about. An enemy of unknown size and their home turf. Sucks to be us.
佢話嗰個聲音係你知唔知點整嘅？啲怪嘅聲音。唔係啊，個怪嗰啲聲音佢點樣做出嚟啊？佢係攞啲鋼線定係魚絲喺度拉咯，拉扯。呢啲唔會呢啲應該要喺裏邊揾到啲資料先。唔夠啊！可唔可以咩先？可以揀張紙。有啊，可以啊。收藏品。自由咁樣有得揀㗎嘛？佢出翻嚟咁壞咁樣。佢可以係唔死咁樣壞。但係如果你要救水秋，應該係由呢一幕呢啲地方開始，你要佢唔好俾人植咗掛入去咯。好似係咪都植咗？哇！植咗再攞翻上嚟，然後俾人哋，但係如果即係佢成功上咗地面，但係俾人做低咗最後就係。戇居？應該唔係，咪做低嘢，可能可以幫佢抽翻隻嘢出嚟咯。呢個覺醒嘅分手啊！但係你可以玩翻嗰張咩先咯？第4個男仔唔使死喎，即係可能分咗4個。算啦，得先。因為嗰度比較近啲喺最尾嗰度，即係佢唔揀。唔炸唔爆唔執引爆咯。好，這個不錯。行啦，下次先玩。可以啊。完。